recording button. We're streaming and we're recording. I love it. So it's Monday. This time I like these calls at night too, because we've had a day. Some days turn out great, other days, take a turn. How do we handle the challenges of the day, especially when we're not expecting them? And I really love chatting about that with everybody. As a whole, like we can chat about that with the topic that we go over for the day. I do love to lean into a win, right? Because if we had a win over the weekend, can we use that win to push us in a direction to see more success heading into the week? So does anybody have something that they might want to share from a successful decision choice moment, something they've overcome, some way they challenge themselves over the weekend, which is apparently harder for most people? Am I the only one? Is it only me? Get your hand in the air, Jessica? Or are you just jamming? I get headphones on, I can't tell.
This week felt especially hard. I'm agreeing.
The week, like today, Monday, or like last week into today?
Like all of last week into all of today.
Okay. What was
Yeah.
the most challenging if you had to pick something like that threw you off?
Having to keep my spirits up as I fail over and over again and just keep going.
Okay.
Having to actually deal with failure multiple days in a row
Okay.
and not get thrown off.
Got it. And then I mean, we can dive as deep as you'd like. It's a safe space. So when we talk about this word failure, is it personal, like with what we handle with food and nutrition and training? Does it have to do with anything that you're open and chatting about to help raise those spirits?
I mean, sure. It's more like I was tested really hard in how I was going to keep on track with the Hidden Summit like nutrition and the tracks and everything. In the face of like failing a big contractor's license exam. I just took my big test. I've been preparing for it forever. Lots of money and time involved, and I failed. I can take it again, but failed. And it turned my spirits super down. And normally, like, I mean, I'll take any excuse in the book to go just, fuck off for a little while before I get back on track. And I didn't do that. I just kind of laid low for a couple days and got myself back together before I made any like super bad decisions.
Well, that's a win in itself, right? And I am sorry to hear about the exam. I do hope that it's something that you continue to fight for. But being that you've said in the past you would have done X, but you've chosen to like lay low, find yourself, collect yourself. Like that's huge. Because anybody been where Jessica's been before and like said, fuck it, like I'm just gonna crumble and just not, okay, we got a lot of hands in the air that are with you, girl. Like we support you on that. We've been there. And emotionally, like we just don't wanna do the one thing that's necessary to move us forward in those moments. But you put yourself in a position to like stop, like zoom out and gain some traction. And while you may not exactly be where you thought you could have been prior to that happening, like every time we fail, like I think it drives us, it doesn't just drive us, it gives us the opportunity to push ourselves a little bit further the next time. Because I hope you see it in a sense where you can use this moment to be like, okay, that was pretty shitty. I feel bad right now, but that's temporary, because what I do with the situation thereafter is what's going to allow me to grow and move in a direction where I know it's going to be challenging, and then I will keep fighting to get to where I want to go. Because then after I do succeed, I know what the road actually was like, and it was a lot more rocky than I had originally intended. However, I didn't stop and I didn't quit. Right? and the nutrition stuff and the Hidden Summit shit, like we're here to support you like the whole time. Like, and I will be talking about it in the emails this week, but like imperfect action practiced repeatedly, right, relentlessly over time will yield positive results. Like we will mess up along the way.
Yeah.
I've failed more times than I've succeeded. And I probably will fail a lot more times in my life. But I'm here to let you know, like, we can always take one more step in a direction, no matter how challenging it may be. People are still popping onto this call. I love it. 8 minutes later. Well, thank you for sharing that. I know that it was a tough week, but you're here now, and hopefully this call helps you collect your thoughts and keep moving in a positive direction, because that's always the plan, to set the tone for the week. We get a new hand dealt to us every day, every choice, really. That's what we're gonna go over today. So, is this anybody's first call? Like, I always forget to ask that. Like, anybody like never show up to a mindset huddle before? Cool. Well, I love that you guys are here. How did we get to this call? We are in the middle of a 90-day challenge, right? 90 days is a long or short or moderate period. It's just an amount of time, right? So it's all dependent on what we're comparing it to. But we've gone over a couple of really, really heavy and strong topics. And I say heavy because like they're very powerful. Not as in they'll hold you back, but like you can lean into them time and time again and pull something out for yourself. And the first thing that we went over to start the challenge was vision and setting these goals, right? We're not dreaming about making these things happen. These are goals that we're setting, whether it's a goal for the day or a goal for the week or a goal for the month or the next 2 months, or what do you want to accomplish at the end of the 90 days? In the realm of mindset, in the realm of nutrition, in the realm of movement, with your partner, with your family, with your work, with your career, with your finances. What are the goals that you're setting? If you can put them pen to paper and remind yourself of them daily, or like what I do is I just put them on the backdrop of my phone or somewhere where I see them every single day to remind you that they're important. The more that we think about these things, the more they will become a part of who we are. Setting goals is huge. If we don't plug into the GPS where we're going, it might be a little harder to get there. I'm not saying that we won't get there, but we want to take the most optimal route, which isn't always the most direct route, but we'll have a better idea of where we're going and how to make that happen. The next week, we spoke about why, just why. Why are you here? Why did you set these goals? Why is bettering your life important to you? Why do you want to elevate the life that you live? Because if you know your why, when the how comes your way, similar to what Jessica just shared, and you're pushed in a different direction and you're challenged, he or she who knows their why can bear any how. You can make it happen through failure, through hardship, through a sudden change that you may have not expected. But I know why I showed up today, and it's to share some more information with you guys, because I think that you can use it going into your week. All right? There's always a way through. That's right, Jane. Okay? The following week, we spoke about how. How do we get things done, right? Forming a personalized list, a selfish list, if I may, something where you can invest in yourself and get shit done for you and give to yourself, right? With our mindset, our nutrition, our movement, our sleep, and being selfish in a sense, doing something for yourself to better yourself. Anybody do that this week? Did anybody put themselves first when they normally wouldn't have? I got a hand in the air. Autumn's got her hand up. I love it. What'd you do, Autumn? What'd you do for yourself? I want to know.
After last weekend traveling, I was firm in my no of I'm staying home, I'm prepping food, I'm doing everything I need to do to get back on track instead of saying yes to everything.
I love it. Everything. And like, did you feel like you were being pulled in 100 different directions?
Not necessarily, but a couple of things came up that in the past I would have been like, heck yeah, I'm in. But right now I'm focusing on me, and the things would have involved drinking, which I'm not doing at the moment. And that just didn't sound productive to me. So I stepped back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pass on this one.
Sure. I love that. Powerful, right? Putting yourself first. And then guess what? Like there's always time to have a drink when you want to, and that's
Yep.
totally okay. And it doesn't serve you today. And I think you probably felt pretty confident walking into the week today because you didn't do those things, right?
Absolutely.
I love that. And that's really where we're going to start. Give more to get more. Give more to yourself to get more out of your life. Autumn chose to say no. And I like to say, when you say no to some things, you can say yes to more of the things that actually matter. Well, it may be fun to go have some drinks with friends. If it doesn't serve you in that moment, really the only buddy that you're doing a disservice to is yourself. Now, if Autumn was prepared coming back from her travels and like had it in her schedule to say like, well, I can go hang out with them, but I'm not going to drink, then she could have done that. Or if she said like, you know what, like I'm not going to go out, but I kind of want a glass of wine tonight because it fit her time and her season and her life, then like she could have done that, but it didn't. And she was confident enough to be like, well, I'm going to give this moment my all and prep my week because I had some travel and there will be people to hang out with and drinks to be had at another part of my life down the line. And I'm going to set myself up for success. Give more to get more. How do we do that? Well, I have 4 little steps on how we do that. How do we get more out of our days? With the how, with the why, with our vision, how do we make ourselves see that we're capable of moving forward each and every single day? The idea is simple. The first thing is to know exactly what is important to you, for you in your life. I said 3 to 5 on the call this morning, but I really think it's like 1 to 3 things, 2 to 3 things. There's no perfect science here. Like this is just what I do and I share it with you so you can wrap your head around it and formulate a plan with you or your coach and me that works for you. For me, I know that my health is super important. So I'm going to eat well and I'm going to work out every single day. And then guess what? When I want to have like a piece of cake, when Lacey's mom came into town because we went out to dinner and we all shared one little piece of cake, I did. And I didn't feel bad about it. But the rest of the week, even when she was here and we were eating out, I was tracking and pre-tracking and making sure everything worked out. I worked out every single day and didn't go to the beach with them and didn't go, shopping with them. I did what I had to do. I worked out because that's important to me. And nobody was offended. They understand, and that's okay. The other things that are important to me are my family. So spending time with them and actually going out to dinner with them and not saying like, well, I can't go out to eat because, that's not part of the plan. Like I made it work. Because quality time with the people that I care about and the people I love is super important. The last thing that's important to me, not in any particular order, but on this list is Hidden Summit. It's the business. I actually just posted a reel just beforehand. I was looking back at when we started and how far we've come. And it's pretty spectacular to see what can happen when you lead from your heart and do what it is that you would want someone to do for you. And then I look at where we're going and I'm like, well, we haven't even started yet. But I'm going into a season of my life where I have to juggle these 3 things, right? I was talking to Caitlin about this in a text message thread earlier. And I said like, well, the last 6 months I've been training for the CrossFit Games next year. And some things are happening with the, Hidden Summit and my schedule where I'm going to have to pull back on my training a little bit for a while. And that was a tough pill to swallow because I feel like I'm really in a groove with training. But however, if I don't lean into the business right now, then the word I want for Hidden Summit, for you, for the coaches isn't going to happen. And now I just have to edit my food and my family time to make sure that they all work. And I know that it's going to be okay because guess what? I've done this before. When I started Hidden Summit, I went from training 3 to 4 hours a day to training 45 minutes in my garage. I didn't get any less fit. Maybe it was a different type of fit, but I was able to build an amazing community with you wonderful people. And I still got, my me time and worked out for 45 minutes in the garage. So you understand that, like, if you know what's important to you, you're able to flex and move the pieces a little bit more. But if you start adding in what's important to other people and you start like building that pile and it's 3 and 5 and 9 and 11 and 13 different things, how are you going to know what to say no to? And I want you to understand that, like I said earlier, you can say no to some things in certain moments to say yes to more of the things that matter. And when you know what is important, what is priority in your life, it's a lot easier to say yes to those things. So that's number one, know what's important. So I want you to make a note, whether you do it or you don't do it. I'm not going to micromanage your progress here, but I would highly recommend writing down 3 things that you care about the most for you and your journey to get to your vision and your goal, right? What are the things that take you there as a human being? Right? Because this is about elevating your life and becoming better, not just like, I'm going to be strong as hell. I'm going to be fast as fuck. I'm going to look good in that bed. Like, that's a part of it. But the goal is to say, like, well, how do I become the best human being in doing this and a person of character along? Questions on that? Is that hard for anybody to do? When you think about it, you're probably like, I know what it is, but I haven't written it down, and we're not thinking about it all the time. There's plenty of things, and we'll talk about all the other things that I do and what you do later on in the following calls. But if you know what is first, then you know how to make those happen every single day. Add them to your how list and make them a part of your why and have them be part of your vision. They all bleed together. Number 2, did I sound really bored talking about that stuff to anybody? Okay. If I did, would you believe me? Probably not. Number 2 is be enthusiastic in everything that you do for yourself and your why and your how and for your vision. Because if I sat here and just went, I think you guys need to make a list of priorities in your life and that would benefit you. And like, you should begrudgingly go into them every single day. And perhaps if you maybe do them, you might see results. Would that make sense? No, it doesn't work, right? Has anybody ever woken up and they're like, I don't want to work out today. And then they go work out today and they're like, that was actually pretty great. And you feel really excited about it afterwards. Like, imagine just saying, like, I get to work out today. Holy shit. Like, I get to go become better in the gym. Has anybody ever said, like, oh, I got to eat 20 more grams of protein. How am I going to do this? What if you were like, you know what? Like, I get to eat 20 more grams of protein because I'm going to be so strong. And this is going to help me so much. It might be challenging, but I'm up for a challenge because challenges make us better. Imagine if we did that. I have to write one more email for work. I get to write one more email and help somebody or share something with them, whatever it is. Enthusiasm is going to carry you through difficult times, even the challenges. I promise you that. Oh, I just messed up. It's okay. I learned a lesson in that. And I'm going to be able to be more prepared for it the next time it comes around, which we'll touch on in a second. Number 1, know what is important and priority in your life. 2, be enthusiastic. It helps. It just helps. Number 3, relentless effort. Okay, relentless effort in each task. Hold yourself to a standard of excellence. If you have to question it, you probably have to do it again. If you have to question it, you probably could give a little bit more focus to these moments. This isn't about perfection. I said earlier, you're going to fail. You're going to mess up. That's okay. You have another choice to make, another meal to eat, another gram of protein to eat, another night's sleep to rest, another morning to wake up, another workout to do, another conversation. Like, you have these choices coming your way. I promise you that. Did anybody not make a choice today? Okay. So if we know that part of the life plan is that we will mess up at some point or another, and we go into it like trying to be excellent, at least we can learn a lesson then how we can adjust it moving forward, use enthusiasm and lean into what's important in our life to see progress happen over time. Fair? I hope so. The last two is part of the same topic. Understand these two things, okay? It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. And everything that you want and desire is on the other side of something hard. Hard decision, hard task, hard workout, hard to organize your day, hard to fit in the time, hard to have the conversation, hard to save your money, hard, whatever hard is. Like, has anybody felt when overcoming something hard, really proud of themselves afterward? Yeah, some people are nodding. I love it. Now, when you overcome something easy, do you feel as proud? Or you're just like, okay, I did it. You're like, oh yeah, I just did it. I brushed my teeth today. Congratulations, right? Everything you want's on the other side of hard. And it will be challenging, but it will be worth it in the end. Every failure that we overcome and learn a lesson from gives us the opportunity to grow, and we can move forward when we choose to step into something challenging. The second thing is, if the task you do is hard today, after you do it, it will still be hard tomorrow. You will just have become better at it. If the task you do is hard today, guess what? It's still hard tomorrow. You just become better at it. The example that I used on this morning's call was, has anybody done 100 burpees for time? Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Does it sound hard? Or yes, it depends. Right. However, I guarantee you, if you did 100 burpees today and you practice burpees for 6 months and you did 100 burpees 6 months from now, it would still be hard because you would just get better at doing burpees and you would go faster. It doesn't mean it's any easier. You elevate your life by doing hard things. When you know what's important and you're enthusiastic about it and you give it all you've got with relentless effort day in and day out, consistently over time, and you know that along the way you're going to mess up, but you give yourself a little grace and you go back into it to try it again, because even though it's hard, it's going to be a little bit easier for you in that moment because you've tried it all. That's when we get more out of giving more to our lives. And that's what I want for you to do this week. I want you to lean into it a little bit more. Lean into the training. Sarah, if you walked 1.5 miles on a ruck and you know how long you went on the ruck, can you go a quarter mile more the next time? Can you go one step more the next time? If you didn't do 100 burpees, could you start with 50 burpees and then, or 40 or 10 or 1 and do more the next day? If you didn't pre-track your food, could you like set 5 minutes aside to pre-track your food so you knew what was going to happen tomorrow instead of saying like, I hope this works out and rushing out the door to wherever you're going in the morning? I've been there. I see you guys. You've been there too. Can you have a tough conversation with somebody at home because you care about them and you want to make sure that you're on the same page and you're moving forward together? I don't know, but I believe you can. And I believe that all it takes is a little bit of intention and a little bit of effort and a little bit of action. And when we do that, good things are going to happen. I promise. So, one more time, prioritize what's important in your life. Make a list, 3 things, maybe, max. Lean into those every day. If they weren't a part of your life today, are they really that important? And if they are that important, what are we doing to get them on our how list, part of our why and part of our vision? Number 2, okay? Be enthusiastic. Have fun with it. It's yourself. We can have fun with our lives and get excited about it. And when you are, you're going to build confidence and momentum, and good things are going to come from it. Next, okay, that effort, a little bit, just a little bit of intention every single day to be excellent. Understand you're going to mess up, and that's okay. It's part of the process because you'll learn a lesson. And the next time you go back, it's still going to be hard, but you're going to get better at it because you're going to have failed already. And you realize, like, it's not that bad. Let me try again. Let me pivot. Let me become better. Can we all do that this week? Can we like collectively say hell yes in the chat, or just like nod our heads in like excitement? Okay. Amazing. Thanks, Shelby. Thanks, Lori. I'm pumped for you guys. If you need me for anything, you can reach out. Here to help, here to listen, right? I don't want to overstep on your coach's toes. Happy to hop on with you and do a three-way call whenever as well. Or just shoot me a line and we'll chat about it, because I'm here to listen. And there's 24 of us on this call, and maybe you guys want to lean into a little bit more and you don't have the time right now. Always here to listen and help however I can. And I want to see the best for you guys each and every single day. So with that in mind, let's go win the week, crush the end of the day or the beginning of your day, Jane. I know it's bright and early over there. Is Rebecca on the call? She might be, I don't know. She's also around the world. But regardless of where you are, thank you for spending some time with us. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here. And I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. We got a bunch of good calls this week. I'm hosting the level 2 calls this week. And I will see you guys then. So have a great night. I appreciate you, everybody. Thanks so much.